Roy Scheider as Chief Martin Brody. Born November 10, 1932. Roy Scheider anchored the film as Chief Martin Brody, an NYPD transplant trying to keep Amity Island safe. He's terrified of water, but when the shark attacks start, he's the first to act and the last to give up. His line, "You're gonna need a bigger boat," became a pop culture legend. Brody isn't a hero because he's fearless. He's a hero because he fights anyway. If you admire ordinary men doing extraordinary things, like subscribe and stand with Brody. Robert Shaw as Quint. Born August 9, 1927. Robert Shaw gave us Quint. Salty, unpredictable, and unforgettable. A grizzled shark hunter with a World War II trauma buried in his eyes. His monologue about the USS Indianapolis still haunts viewers. Quint is rough, brilliant, and tragic. The kind of man who'll laugh in a shark's face and still go down swinging. If you love flawed legends who burn bright, like subscribe and pour one out for Quint. Richard Dreyfuss as Matt Hooper. Born October 29, 1947. Richard Dreyfuss brought energy and intellect to Matt Hooper, the young oceanographer who clashes with Quint and supports Brody. Hooper's scientific knowledge gives the team a fighting chance, and his wit keeps the tension human. Smart, cocky, and just vulnerable enough to root for. Hooper's the everyman nerd turned unexpected hero. If you love science saving the day, like, subscribe, and hop aboard with Hooper. Lorraine Garry as Ellen Brody. Born August 16, 1937. Lorraine Garry played Ellen Brody, the chief's wife and emotional compass of the story. More than just a background character, Ellen anchors Brody in his darkest moments and brings heart to a blood-soaked narrative. She's grace, strength, and intuition, a reminder of what's worth protecting. If you believe in the power of quiet courage, like, subscribe, and show love for Ellen Brody. Murray Hamilton as Mayor Larry Vaughn. Born March 24, 1923. Murray Hamilton made Mayor Vaughn the villain you love to yell at, the guy who kept the beaches open for the 4th of July, no matter the cost. His flashy suits and stubborn denial made him unforgettable, even as chaos unfolded. Vaughn represents pride, pressure, and political failure. If you enjoy watching power-face reality, like, subscribe, and keep your beach clothes for Vaughn. Carl Gottlieb as Meadows. Born March 18, 1938. Carl Gottlieb didn't just play Meadows, the local reporter. He also co-wrote the screenplay. As Meadows, he captured the town's tension, from small-town charm to rising panic. He's not a central hero, but he's always present, eyes and ears of Amity Island. If you love storytellers inside the story, like, subscribe, and type it up with Meadows. Jeffrey Kramer as Deputy Jeff Hendricks. Born July 15, 1945. Jeffrey Kramer played Deputy Hendricks, Brody's nervous but loyal assistant. Hendricks might have lacked confidence, but he had heart, and every chief needs backup, even shaky backup. His comic timing and awkward earnestness made him relatable in a sea of fear. If you cheer for the underdog sidekicks, like, subscribe, and ride along with Hendricks. Susan Backlany as Chrissy Watkins. Born September 1, 1946. Susan Backlany played Chrissy Watkins, whose midnight swim became one of the most terrifying openings in film history. As the shark's first victim, her haunting, wordless struggle set the tone for the entire movie. Chrissy wasn't just bait. She was the face of sudden, unseen horror. If you still flinch at rippling water, like, subscribe, and remember Chrissy's final scream. Chris Rebello as Michael Brody. Born 1963. Chris Rebello portrayed Michael Brody, Chief Brody's eldest son, who innocently plays on the beach while danger lurks beneath the waves. His near-death moment in the estuary is one of the film's most emotional scenes, a turning point for his father. Chris gave childhood stakes to a grown-up nightmare. If you believe terror hits hardest when family's at risk, like, subscribe and look out for Mike. Lee Fiero as Mrs. Kintner. Born February 13, 1929. Lee Fiero brought unforgettable gravitas to Mrs. Kintner, whose son's death triggers the town's awakening. Her slap to Chief Brody wasn't just personal, it was righteous, unforgettable justice. With just a few minutes of screen time, she left a mark that echoes decades later. If you felt her pain in that single slap, like, subscribe, and honor Mrs. Kintner's grief. Jeffrey Borhees as Alex Kintner. Born August 5, 1962. Jeffrey Borhees was Alex Kintner, the boy on the yellow raft, whose death shattered the illusion of safety. His attack wasn't graphic, but that spurt of blood in the sea changed the film forever. Alex became the symbol of what happens when danger is ignored. If that yellow raft still haunts your memory, like, subscribe, and keep Alex Kintner in mind. Craig Kingsbury as Ben Gardner. Born circa 1912. Craig Kingsbury, a local fisherman with no prior acting experience, became Ben Gardner, whose barnacle-covered boat held the severed head that made audiences scream. His name lives in Jaws lore, even though he never says a word on screen. Gardner was grit and mystery personified. If that floating head got you in theaters, like, subscribe, and nod to Ben Gardner's ghost. Peter Benshley as the TV reporter. Born May 8, 1940. Peter Benshley, the author of the original novel Jaws, made a cameo as the on-scene TV reporter. His calm voice narrated the shark panic he created. Benshley was more than a writer. He was the mind behind the monster, shaping suspense for generations. If you respect creators who dive deep, like, subscribe, and tip your hat to Peter Benshley.